Hi viewers, welcome back to our channel Make Math Easy. So in today's class we are going to discuss about some more word problems from the pair of linear equations. Already in the last class we are just doing with the separately like a triangle series like that. We made it into separate categories and we are solving, right? So in today's class let us discuss some more word problems based on the this numerator and denominator, area of rectangle, number of students in a class. These models we will discuss in today's class. Okay, so let's get started. See, let us start with a simple one. Right. See here, sum of numerator and denominator of a fraction is 12. So first of all, we should consider what is the fraction that we are going to take. So if I take x by y is the fraction, first condition what they are giving is sum of numerator and denominator of a fraction is 12. So that means x plus y is equal to 12 is the first condition for us. Now it is not necessary to take x and y in both numerator and denominator. If you want, you can take it as an x and the denominator will become 12 minus x like that. See the continuation, if the denominator is increased by 3, fraction becomes 1 by 2. So for this, denominator increases by 3. So x divided by y plus 3, then the fraction becomes 1 by 2. That's what they had given to us. Then find the fraction. So it's a very simple one. You can write this x as in 12 minus y divided by y plus 3 is equal to 1 by 2. So this is 24 minus 2y is equal to y plus 3. So 24 minus 3 is equal to 3y. Y is equal to 7 I will get. Because this is 21, 21 by 3 is 7. Y is equal to 7 means obviously x value will become 5. So the main important thing in all these type of questions is you should understand how the fraction is getting changed. Okay. So you just have to first imagine the fraction, later you have to think of how it is getting changed. So let us see another question now. See this. A fraction reduces by 4 by 5 when 2 is added to when 2 is subtracted from numerator and 3 is added to the denominator. See, a fraction reduces by 4 by 5. So, if I have a fraction x by 5, please understand the question. They are not saying that fraction reduces to. They are using the word fraction reduces by. So, actual fraction is x by y. Fraction reduces by 4 by 5 means x by 5 minus 4 by 5. When 2 is subtracted from the numerator and 3 is added to the denominator. When 2 is subtracted from the numerator and 3 is added to the numerator. But it reduces to 12 by 7. If 6 is added, it is reduced to 2. That means x by y is now becoming 12 by 17 when 6 is added to the numerator and denominator is multiplied by 2. So that is 2y. So you see here, because of this, what is actually happening, you should understand the word. What do you mean by reduces by? What do you mean by reduces to? So reduces to 12 by 7 means whatever fraction you are having, that is equivalent to 12 by 7. When they say reduced by 4 by 5 means you have to do like this. Okay. So let us simplify this further. From this I will be getting 17x plus 17 into 6 means 112 is equal to 24y. So here also you do simplify further. X minus 2 by y plus 3 is equal to 5x minus 4y by 5y you will be getting. So you send this to other side. Do the cross multiplication. 5y times of x minus 2 is equal to 5x minus 4y times of y plus 3. So this is 5xy minus 10y. Do the multiplication here also. 5xy, 15x minus 4y square minus 12y. So 5xy will get cancelled out, and you are getting, if you bring this to other side, you will be getting 2y. This also to the other side, plus 4y square is equal to 15x. Okay. So what you have to do now, you have to substitute this value of x, whatever we are having here, in this equation. That will help you to get the value of entire equation will convert into the form of y, and then if you try to simplify this one, that will become your answer, right? So the only thing that you have to understand is whether are we doing the entire multiplication and are we understanding the question correctly or not. Accordingly, you have to solve the problem. That is the important thing that you have to remember. Okay. Let us see another question now. Now let us see this type of questions. These actually numerator and denominator based questions are almost very direct questions only. You don't need to worry about that much. You just have to be very keen in understanding the question. That is the important point that you have to notice. And you see this one. This is also another important model. The students of a class are made to stand in a row. If 3 students are extra in a row, there would be 1 row less. Okay. So first of all, we should understand how we will get the total number of count of students. That is the important point, that you have to get that information first, and later we have to think of the other part. You see, if I am having say some x number of rows like this, and if I am having some in each row, if I have some 4 number of students, let us say, so that means I can say that the number of rows into number of students in each row will give me total number of students for me. So we have to consider the variables as, first thing, number of rows is equal to x, number of students in each row is equal to y. Number of students in each row is equal to y. So if I take the product of these two, I will be getting the number of students actually, right, in a class. Now you see the question, they are saying students of each class are made to stand in a row, so that the if 3 students are extra in a row, so that means in a row it is why we had taken, if 3 students are extra in a row, there would be 1 row less. So there would be 1 row less, means correspondingly again you will be getting the total number of students only, right? So the total number of students means x into y is again. So the number of students in each row increased by 3. Obviously rows will get decreased by 1. Total number of students will remain as the same. That's how the product is equal to xy. Now see the second condition. If 3 students are less in each row, that means y minus 3, there would be 2 rows more. So number of rows are x, so x plus 2. Again this is also will give you the value of xy, the number of students. Find the number of students in the class. So that means they are asking you to find the value of x or y or xy. Yes, they are asking for xy, because x into y only will give you the total number of students, right? So let us solve this first. First equation, xy minus y plus 3x minus 3 is equal to xy. This equation will become xy plus 2y minus 3x minus 6 is equal to xy. So let us try to simplify this, and we will check what we are going to get. Both the sides xy will get cancelled, xy will get cancelled. So minus y plus 3x is equal to 3, first equation. 2y minus 3x is equal to 6, another equation. So this is y is equal to 9. So when you get y is equal to 9, you can substitute in any of these 2 equations to get the value of x. If I substitute here, I will be getting x is equal to 4, right? So that means number of rows are 4 and number of students in each row is 9. So that's how 4 into 9 will give you 36 number of students for us, right? So the important thing that you have to notice is you should get this thought actually. First thing, what they are asking in the question is a matter for us. Whether they are asking number of students or number of rows or number of students in a class. You should get that clarity. How we are going to find the value of a number of students in each class? Is it taking the product of number of rows and number of students in each row? So like that you should have make your imagination and then accordingly you have to proceed. Right? Now let us see another last model in this. It is not actually related to the number of students and all. It is depends on the area of a rectangle based questions. It is just similar to this only, but we are talking with respect to the rectangle. But here we had spoke about the number of students in the class, right? Just to see this question. See this. If in a rectangle length is increased and breadth is reduced each by 2 units, area gets reduced by 28. So we know that for a rectangle we have to talk about length, which is L, and we have to talk about breadth, which is equal to B. Now what they are saying, length is increased, breadth is decreased. Length increased, breadth decreased, and the area reduced by so and so. So see, length is increased and breadth is reduced by 2 units. Then the area got reduced by 28 square units. This is the first condition that we are getting. So let us simplify this first of all. LB minus 2L plus 2B minus 4 is equal to LB minus 28. LB will get cancelled. Minus 2L plus 2B is equal to minus 24. I can cancel out minus 2 throughout the equation. Then I will be getting L minus B equal to 12. This is the first condition we got. See the second continuation. However, if length is reduced by 1 unit, breadth increased by 2 units. Length reduced by 1 unit, breadth reduced by increased by 2 units. Then area increases by 33. Area is LB plus 33 because they said it is for increase. So simplify this one, LB plus 2L minus B minus 2, 33 plus LB. LB will get cancelled. 2L minus B is equal to 35. This is the second condition. This is my first condition. Right? Now how to solve this one? It's a very simple thing. 2L minus B is equal to 35. L minus B is equal to 12. So if we reduce this, subtraction, addition means minus B plus B will become 0. 2L minus L is L. 35 minus 12 is 23 units. So L is 23 means substitute in any of these two. You will be getting 23 minus B is equal to 12. That means B is equal to 11 units. Right? So length is 23, breadth is 11. This is the number of measurements that you are having. But you should understand whether they are asking you length and breadth or area of the rectangle. You see in this question they are asking you find the area of a rectangle. So 23 into 11, L into B is nothing but area of a rectangle. So 23 into 11 means 253. So LB is equal to 253 square units. So this is how you have to interpret the word problem. This is very important thing. You should, once if you are not able to understand the question correctly, obviously everything will go wrong. Right? So in the next class, mostly with the next class we will try to conclude this chapter. Because word problems are basically unlimited. Every time you will be having new models only. So I tried my level best to give you the correct picture of understanding the questions, so that whatever may be the model you will get, it can be easy for you, right? So in the next class we will discuss some more important models if I find any, that we will discuss, and then we can end up this chapter. Okay. Right. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any doubts, you can post in the comment section. Doubts will be clarified in the next class. Thank you.